Oh, Jessica. Let's see if it'll.
I quit. I'll be over here.
Don't you dare do that, because I don't know what to do.
Clearly, I don't know what to do either.
It's not doing anything.
That just got all stupid.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Refresh.
I just did.
Well, do it again.
again.
Oh, YouTube.
Oh, there we are. Now we're live. All right.
Oh my God.
We're in motion.
I quit.
Woohoo.
Today is the day that I quit.
Congrats on your new pattern.
Thank you. Congratulations to you. You can buy it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that just got chaotic.
It was really crazy.
I don't know what happened, but YouTube put a very unflattering picture of Barb up, and in trying to delete it, it ended up having 2 lives scheduled. And then when I tried to start it, it tried to do another one. Barb's talking to everybody, and I'm like, ah! So we are here, and that is all there is.
Congrats on 20.1 thousand subscribers.
Thank you. So let's just get that out of the way real quick.
Yay.
Because remember, we don't say these words, but we're going to do one of these next week. Yeah. So not this week. I still think you should stick around because we have some good stuff to talk about, but this next week. All right. So we're doing our 20K hey, next week. We don't say that word. We don't say that word here. It's a bad word.
It is.
It's a bad word. And I'm hoping that we've fixed the curse because we got through last time without trolls.
Exactly.
So we're going to try. So Barb and I are figuring out what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. I'll work on it for a good one.
Story of our life. So next Friday.
I'll push her.
Listen, it's already started. I just wasn't ready for today. No. It was not going to be ready for today because we have lots of stuff to talk about today.
So something to wait for.
They do, yes. So hey, look at that. We're a week ahead. We know what we're talking about next week.
That's shocking.
And before we talk about any of our stuff, I posted this in the group last night, but I know that not everybody is on Facebook. But if you have been waiting for a Becky base for your cam snap from Hannah Woodworking, your chance is today at 6 p.m. Central. Go to hannahwoodworking.com. It's Hannah without an H on the end, Hanna. If you're on Facebook, I tagged her in the group. If you're not, you can find it. It's not hard. But the Becky bases, she has a limited amount. They are dropping on her website at 6 p.m. Central. Get on there. Don't buy all the purple ones. I need one. I'm going to try really hard, but I have a virtual retreat, so I might have to excuse myself to go get it. Because I need a purple one. And she said, yes, they will be restocked, but it does take a lot of time. So if you want one and you just can't wait anymore, today is your chance. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Yeah,
that's all I can tell you, because it's going to get all Hunger Games up in there. It's going to get crazy. I'm predicting that they sell out in under an hour. Oh, that is my prediction.
They're pretty.
They're so pretty, and they're so well made. And I've been using mine, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I know you don't use the press, but like it sits on the shelf.
No, it's pretty.
It's great because like you just bring it over to the table, and all the stuff's there, and I'm not rummaging through bins trying to find all of my dies because just like with sewing machine feet, you use the same ones over and over again, and those are all sitting and waiting for me. So that is all I have. I've complained about YouTube. I told you what we're doing next week, and I told you what Becky has going on. So now it's my turn to shine.
What have you got going on, Jessica?
I have a lot going on, Barbara. Let me tell you first. I made my own coffee concoction at Cumberland Farms this morning.
Oh,
it is
goodness.
Delicious.
What did you do?
So it is half weird latte thing that comes out of the machine, half coffee, my creamer, and like a shot of raspberry syrup flavor. It's delicious. Delicious. Just trust me on this.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Is it better than Starbucks? No.
Why not Starbucks?
Because I had to go to the bank this morning, and the Starbucks line was crazy, and the Starbucks on the way here when I go that way. Yeah, you're sitting in the middle of the road, and I'm just not willing to risk my life or the rear end of my car for coffee. And the one here is still being built. So, I don't know.
Charlie says he's getting one of those things to serve cheese on.
I don't blame you. They come in beautiful colors. So, I got a thread here, and I don't have scissors. Okay, watch me as I cut my thumb off. So, Georgia is here.
I have Band-Aids.
We always have Band-Aids here. We have too many accident-prone people that work here, so there's always Band-Aids. sides. Both of us.
Excuse me.
Both of us. I was not. I was
I
not.
saw that little.
I said this because I was not including myself in that.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
side note, because there's always going to be a lot of those. We went to Tennessee in the end of June, and I hit my shin, not the bone, like the meaty part on the front of my shin on the bed frame. The bruise has healed, but it still hurts so much. Like, did I damage? Is there an internal organ in my leg? Like, what did I do? Because it hurts so much. Like putting lotion on my leg, I'm like, oh, I think it's broken. I don't know. I hurt
I
myself.
don't think it's broken.
I think everything in me is broken.
It hurts. That's me.
It hurts
That's
really,
me.
really bad.
And I got a brace on again.
It's been a month and a half. I should be fully healed.
Exactly.
But anyway, you don't care. That's not why you're here. Maybe it is. Maybe you have a weird fetish. But anyway, this is what we're going to talk about first. Georgia, my new pattern. I'm very excited about it.
Have the song playing in the background.
No, absolutely not. Then copyright infringement. You know how it goes.
True.
You know, and it's just going to get ugly. So
if I could sing, I'd sing it, but I can't sing it. I don't want everybody to run away.
All of a sudden, there's just dead air.
Dead. Yeah.
New pattern. I'll tell you the same thing I tell you every time, just for everybody that's new to hear it. Do you want this paper? You want this? You still have to buy a PDF because my website doesn't have 2 versions. Why? Because it's confusing. Not only for you, but for me. So if you're like, oh, I don't have a printer, or I like to hold things, I like to write on them, that's fine. Buy the PDF, add a note. Mm-hmm. This one right here, she'll ship it out to you. You want to order a kit or hardware? Add a note to that too, because extra notes are good. I bought a pattern. Send me a paper copy. Here's my order. I also bought a pattern. I need a paper copy. We'll send it to you. Not a problem at all. But we are sticklers about you paying for it. So
just a little.
Just because you want a pattern, I need your $10.
Or just because you say, send me a paper pattern.
Does not mean we're going to. You have to give us money. Yeah. This is a business. And in order to continue the business, you have to pay for the things that we send to you. That's all. I think that's the only mean thing that we do, really. So. It's just, we require payment.
Yeah, else we're very accommodating.
Very accommodating. Most accommodating humans on the planet, but you do have to pay for stuff. So yes, you can get a paper copy if you want to, but you will still get a PDF whether you want that or not.
Right.
Because that's just how life goes. So Georgia is ready. So in the making of Georgia, I wanted to do a backpack. I love backpacks. I know they're not for everybody, but I didn't want like a traditional, like back to school kind of a backpack. I wanted like a fun backpack, bigger than a purse. That's a backpack, more of a tote. So this is a 2-for-1. I'm going to show you all the parts of it, all the things that you can change up to make it your own. And in doing this, of course, I included cork. There's cork on the top and the bottom. Why am I showing you this? I'll show you the bag. But also, the coffee is settling in. Also, I did this one with the cotton, and I did this one with canvas. And what do you think the next question is going to be?
Can you do it in all cork?
Oh my God, yes, you can. Did I do one in all cork?
No.
Do I have the measurements for you? Also no. But you right there, you can do anything you want to. I am not going to stop you. If you want to make this in leather, if you want to go skin an animal right now, I don't care. Ooh. It's up to you. Listen. Vinyl. Done. You want to quilt it? Do it. Anything you want to do. I did it my way. You can do it your way.
There's a song for that too.
There is. And I think doing this all in cork, I'm trying to think what I change. Probably not much. A few little things here and there, depending on what machine I'm using. If I have to cut bulk, if I'm using my HD9, probably not going to change too much. What I might do, let's take a look at the bag itself, and then we'll get into that. Yeah. So bag on the front has 2 little cute pockets, and they have some depth to them because they're little pleated pockets. Okay, I love a little pocket. For a second? No.
Dr. Hale has a suggestion for you.
If it's drinking more water, I'm gonna get rid of her.
No. She says you can get a bruise next to the bone that takes months to get absorbed. Moist heat and walking to increase circulation will help it resolve a little faster, but eventually, LOL, it will go away.
Well, that makes me feel
Thank you,
better
Dr.
because I just
Mel.
thought I was defective. I was not sure why this thing would not go away. The bruise has been gone, and it was an ugly one too. It was dark. I hit it hard. Like, I don't do things lightly. I walked into that bed frame with authority to the point that Eric goes, "What did you just do?" And I was like, "I think I just broke my shin." I was like, "I don't know." The bed frame in Tennessee was like wider. That it was like a platform
Oh,
bed,
yeah,
and it was
yeah.
wider than the mattress. So like I couldn't tell where the mattress ended and the platform began. And as I'm walking towards my side, I went right into the corner so
That
hard.
hurts.
Like, you would have thought I was running. Like, I just like, "Oh," and I hulked it right into the end of the bed. And now my leg is broken. So
Okay, you can go back to your bed.
okay,
now.
thank you. So you think I can go back.
We were talking about pockets.
Pockets. It has pockets. So it has really cute little pockets on the front because all bags need pockets. And I did push locks because I wanted to use our new hardware finally on something. And that is what's in the pattern and the video. So if you don't want to do push locks, do they have to?
No.
There you go. Barb says you don't have to.
No.
You can do any closure you
You
want.
can do what you want.
But if you want it to look like this and you like the little push locks, it's included in the pattern and the video because there is a full video that will walk you step by step. I will hold your hand all the way through. Now underneath here, you see this? It's like a little hidden because I'd never done one of those before and I thought it was really cute. So there's a big old zippered pocket. It's like all the way there. It's big. It'll hold a lot. Don't ask me what because I have no idea, but
My
it'll hold a
checkbook.
lot. Your checkbook better not be that big. You need like a
Well,
tablet. I think you could put a tablet in here.
Oh, maybe.
Make the
Would it
face,
fit?
but I'm not joking. A small tablet, not that
Oh, yeah, I
thing.
was going to say, not
Yeah.
an iPad.
Some people have those little ones.
Oh, that's for like Kindles. Or
I'm
something.
blind. I need big.
Me too.
So
you
then,
should see the thing in my car now.
oh, I bet.
It's like this big. It's like a tablet. It's crazy.
Barb got a new car, a new computer, a new car with a computer.
And it's got massaging seats.
That's ridiculous.
It is
We're gonna go for a ride
ridiculous.
later.
It is ridiculous. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So
Back to the
another new piece of hardware, newer, the little zipper ends. Not new to a lot of people, new to us because we haven't had them for years and years. And I'll be honest, and Sue, I'm real sorry if you're watching. I told Barb I didn't like these. I told her I didn't want to carry them. I said, no, I hate those things. I love them, and she can attest to it.
Now she does.
I
yeah.
can't. I don't want to say it to Sue's face. I didn't want to say it, but I can say it on the computer. I can hide behind my screen
There you go, hide behind
until I
the
see
screen.
her again. But I don't know why I was like, I don't like those. Now that
I
I've
don't know,
used
'cause
them,
it makes it look finished.
I love it.
Nice.
And you know what else? It holds the end.
Oh,
It
yeah.
gives it a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
So the zipper end isn't like out here. And if this is not your cup of tea, just tuck
Stick
it
it
in. Like,
inside.
that's totally fine. If you want to cut this shorter, you can. And I even talk about that in the video. So there's a really cool zipper. I did the striped zipper. And then we're going to go inside because I want to show you what's going on in the back. So inside is just big and roomy and it has divided pockets on both sides. Nothing crazy. Can they add a zippered pocket inside if they want to?
Sure they can.
There you go. Barb says yes to everything.
Yes.
So let's look at the back.
I know you can.
I know you can. I know you can because you have skills.
I can't. But
You can't. Well, you
I
could
could
with
if-
assistance.
Yeah.
So
I just don't pay
On-
enough attention.
this is the Georgia tote and backpack. So it has all the stuff to make it either or. But what if you only want one or the other? You can do that too. So, and again, I mentioned it in the pattern and I talked about it in the video. I gave you everything. I like it to be convertible because here's what happens in my world. I make this as a backpack. I use it as a backpack 90% of the time. I'm in a situation where I'm like, I can't put it on my back. It'll be better on my shoulder. I have the option. But you know yourself. And if you only will carry it one way, don't make all the stuff. You won't need this tab if you don't use it as a backpack, and you won't need these. You can skip them. Don't use the hardware. Get rid of them. You can just do the connectors over here. Or you don't want those, get rid of them. Or you don't want them here, put them somewhere else. It's your bag. And they're corked so they don't fray. So if you wanted to anchor them on the back because you don't like how they look on the side, you can use this pattern any way you choose. Follow it start to finish or change it up, whatever you want to do. So I made both of my samples here, and I have another sample in progress. I made them with all the stuff because I didn't know which one I wanted to carry. I'm leaning towards this one, but this would
Very
also
pretty.
look nice in my booth when I go
Mm,
to So Magical, so I don't know. But this is not my color scheme, but it's still cute, so
It's
I don't
pretty, though.
know. And I
It's
did
very
this,
pretty.
I just put the tote strap on there. It still has
Yeah.
all the stuff, okay? So
So
if-
what do you have? 2 straps?
so you make 2 straps. So if
Okay.
you're just doing it as a tote, you just have to make 1. I have the other one. I took it off because I didn't
Yeah.
need it. So I can tuck that away and take
In
this
that
wherever I'm
pocket
going.
that's on
In
the
the
front,
pocket.
that
I can
zipper
put it
pocket
anywhere I
on the
want.
front.
But there's just all this,
That's pretty.
there's all this room. It's a good one to show off your fun fabrics. I did not fussy cut, but I ended up getting the little butterfly and the ladybug, which I thought was real
Oh, how
cute,
cute.
but works really nicely. We do have kits. Now I'm warm. We have kits,
Now I'm comfortable.
complete kits. We have canvas. We have a surprise kit. If you
Yeah.
want a canvas kit, but you can't make a decision, we'll make it for you. We like doing that. It's fun. We also
Wait till you
have.
see what you get.
I'm
Somebody ordered
excited.
one.
I know, and I'm very excited to see what you
I'm
pick.
excited to do it.
We have the Anna Maria, the Echinacea kits. That fabric is selling faster than I imagined. So if
Mhm.
you are hesitating and you want some, get it now, because I don't know if/when we will restock. It's hard sometimes because right now it sells great. We restock, it sits on the shelf. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of depends on the demand. We always get canvas. I think we have an order for September, but I cannot remember. We don't have a sales rep, so I don't know when anything happens. I have to go check. But you can make this into whatever kind of bag you want. You can skip the top handles. If you don't want these,
Yeah.
get rid of them. If you do whatever you want to do, this is your bag. And I want you to remember that when you're making it, because that's the whole point in making our own stuff. We don't have to go to the store and get stuck with whatever's there. We get to, try it out. We have hardware kits. The hardware is all 1.5 inches. The kits don't come with the zipper end or the push locks because I don't put closure hardware in typically unless it's like a daybreak kit where there's one magnetic snap. I don't typically put it in because we have options and some people want different options and it would just get very confusing for us with all the different options. So you can just get the hardware. You can use whatever you want on the front. If you don't want to do a zipper end and you want to do a tab, you can do that. And in the video, I kind of walked you through like, if you don't want your zipper end hanging off, if you don't like that look, there's a point when you can cut your zipper shorter after you kind of get most of your assembly done. So there's definitely a lot of options with this bag, and I love a bag that has options. So I just have to decide which one I want to carry, and it might be the one I'm working on. I might leave them
What are you
alone.
working on?
I am working on one with shayless fabric and doing it like kind of piecey, like trying to include as much of it as I can.
Oh, okay.
Like I normally do with her
Yeah.
stuff, where I'm always throwing. She makes really pretty bright colored collections, so like I want to use all of it. And since it's not a quilt, where that would make the most sense,
Yeah,
I try to like piece the outside somehow. So,
cool.
so that's the new pattern.
Very cool.
So, okay. Any questions about the new pattern? Are we good?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Let them think.
let them think. All of a sudden, they'll go, wait, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying to think, do I have anything else to tell you? I don't think that I do. I think that's the gist of the new pattern. So I teased you long enough and I was going to release it today, but I said, no, I want to release it on
She's so
Thursday.
impatient.
I am very impatient, but also I wanted you to be able to see it before we talked about it so that if you bought the pattern and had a question, or if you just, if you weren't going to be here, a couple of people were like, I won't be there on Friday, so I won't get to see it. So I posted it early so you could see it, and here it is. So, and here you can see the size, next to human beings. It's good size.
Oh, yeah.
This is
definitely
the Liana. So
it's
just so you can kind of see,
similar.
a
little bit bigger.
little bit taller,
Yeah.
little tiny bit wider, but just so you can kind of take a look. Take a little look.
Take a look.
Stop it. Okay, there we go. All right. I think that was everything. If there's no questions, we're gonna go on to our second topic.
Which
to
is?
topic number 2. Which is something that I feel very adamant that we need to have a discussion about. I feel like whenever there's a thing going around, I got to put my 2 cents in. That's just who I am as a human being. And I have a platform and I want to use it. And so the thing that I have been noticing, not just very recently, but I mean, in recent years, is copying, the word copying of
Mhm.
patterns, copying, and it gets thrown around a lot. And so I wanted to discuss that. And by copying, I do not mean taking this and photocopying it and giving it to your friend. That's not nice to do either.
No.
You are taking money out of the creator's hands. It's actually pretty rude. Don't do that. But that's not what I mean. I mean the physical, and because I'm not calling anyone out, I'm not saying names. Barb will be my competitor designer. So
There
it'll
you
be
go.
Barb's creations over here and so many creations
Mhm.
when we need to discuss something, because I don't do the shady stuff where I'm like, did you see what she did? I don't do that.
Mhm.
So I don't like when other people do that. It's just awkward. So I wrote notes because I really wanted to discuss this today and I didn't want to forget anything.
Uh-oh.
So I
think I'm
wrote
in trouble.
notes. No, this is good. This is taking it back to like 2020 when I used to make notes for our
Oh, yeah,
conversations.
exactly. You
And now
have a
I'm
sheet
just
of
like,
paper.
I don't know.
You were back
I-
on paper then.
So I voice texted all this to myself, so I don't know how it's gonna sound, but I'll make it sound nicer when it comes out. So before we talk about copying, this is this is a quote that I heard, and it's so true. And it's so,
Uh-oh.
and this is, I think, what all of this is kind of based around. It was a Lady Gaga quote, and she said that social media is the toilet of the internet.
That's
She is
perfect.
not wrong.
That's perfect.
She is not wrong, because the internet is a giant web of lies. Okay, let's be real here. And most of what you see online is not even real. Like, stop comparing yourself. Stop thinking it's not. I mean, I don't sit here and post like, wow, I had the worst day ever. But I still tell you guys, like, more here when I'm like, things suck right at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's there's a line. We're not going to get into a lot of things, but I told you about Eric and everything that went on last year. Like, I'm very open about that. But because I don't want anyone to be like, wow, must be great. Your life is wonderful. It's not. I mean, it's not a bad life, but like, trust me, like, it could be better.
No, everybody's got
Everybody has room for
Yeah.
improvement.
Mhm.
So I think, and this is my personal kind of outlook on this, is that because there are a lot of people at home that are unhappy, there are a lot of people that do hide behind their computers and say things that they wouldn't say to your face. And
Mhm.
because of everything that we as a world have been through in the last 3 years, I think there's just a lot of unhappiness. And I think that sometimes things get said that aren't necessarily based on anything, but it's just like, I just need to blurt this out, and then whoever follows me follows me.
Mhm.
And I see it in other bad groups. I think every one of us as a designer has probably been accused of it and feared it, of that's a copy of something else. That's a copy. And when you're that person that's just kind of screaming that on the internet and on someone's platform, when it's unfounded, you don't know who's following you going, really? I
Yeah.
had no idea. Barb's Creations copies all their patterns.
Yeah.
I heard it once. It must be true. And it's like, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that to someone.
Right.
So I see it so much. And there's been so many examples lately. And I'm going to tell you, and again, this is my opinion, and I think I'm right, that 99% of what you see and deem to be copying is not true.
No.
It's not done
Mhm.
intentionally or maliciously. It happens. So, they always say, like, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Mhm.
Is it? I don't know. I don't know how. That's a weird one. Judging it basically on single white female, I'm going to say no. That ended
Mhm.
badly. That
Mhm.
was not a good movie ending for anybody. But it's, okay, I look at Barb and I'm like, where'd you get your shirt? Is it going to be really weird if she's like, I'm not telling you that? Yeah. But also, if
Yeah.
I go out and buy the same shirt, I'm like, look, I bought the same shirt as you. Is that also a little weird? Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
I like your shirt. It looks
Yeah,
pretty. Can I buy one?
exactly.
Can
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
wear glasses like yours and do
Sure.
my hair like yours? That
Sure.
would be really funny for them if we looked exactly alike. So that happens, and I get that. And I'm looking, okay. Let's look at this right here. Okay. Did I invent triangular connectors? No, I did not. These have existed on other
Yeah.
patterns. Did I invent having a hidden zippered pocket? No, didn't do that either. Did I invent anything here? No. Somebody
Mhm.
else So I don't know who, but somebody else made handles.
Somewhere along the line.
Somebody else did this. But so how is this not copying? How is this unique? Because I'm making it with my techniques and my thoughts, and I came up with the measurements and I figured out how I wanted to do it. I do a lot of stuff. I'm sure a lot of you know this, maybe some of you don't. We sell our cork in sizes, not yardage. So I base things based on the pieces that we sell, excuse me, mostly because I used to do shows. So if I was at a show and someone was like, do you have the cork to make this? I'm like, oh, it's a size we don't sell. You'll have to, or it's a size I don't have. That doesn't really work well for me. That kind of sounds dumb on my part. So because I'm selling the product, I'm like, yeah, that's an 18 by 27. Here, these are our 18 by 27s, or this is what you order on my website. So I try to, I've learned, especially in the last 3 years, that if I show you, you want it. And if you want it, you're going to ask me first. And so if I'm like, hey, look at this bag. Oh, we don't sell that hardware. We don't sell that cork in that size. We don't sell that fabric. It's really silly. And it's also frustrating for you because I'm like, well, I've had this for like 3 years. I don't know where I bought it from. The cork, you'd have to buy like way more and then cut it down. It doesn't really work. I don't know where these push locks came from. It would be really senseless. So I base what I'm doing around my techniques, around my supplies, because some pattern designers also just design patterns. They don't sell the supplies. They're in a different, they have like a different like approach to things. So how is somebody else making a bag that looks similar to this not copying mine? Well, because I have an audience, and of course I always want to expand it. I want more, bag makers, and want more, I want to make our circle bigger. We always want to bring people in, but that means that I'm not going to appeal to everybody. And I know that. And if you're starting out a business, learn that now and move past it, that you will not make everybody happy. No. You are not for everybody. You will find your audience. So I make all of my bags turnstile. I don't do binding. I don't do drop-in linings. It's not my style. Barb, all her bags are bound inside. So when we make a similar backpack tote kind of a bag, hers is going to look totally different. Definitely. Hers is going to have way different techniques because her audience expects that Barb's bags are bound. I did not do that on purpose. So hers have binding inside. Mine do not. The bound bags. And the bound bag Barb's bound bags. Have binding. So we're going to start a new business for you. So that means that when anybody finds my patterns and they really like mine, they may or may not like Barb's. They may say, oh, I don't know about binding. It's not for me. Or they might say, I kind of like that too. It's a new technique I want to try. So there's going to be overlap. And then there's always going to be that division. I do not like So Many Creations patterns, not working on them. I get those emails too, where people literally praise me. And none of this that I'm saying is to be like, I'm wonderful, but I'm just being upfront. I have a lot of teachers that make my bags, a lot of people that are from different industries, and they're like, I love your instructions. They make sense. They're so clear. I love that you have an explanation and a picture, and then you even have a video, and it's great. I will give that conversation happens on Monday, and on Tuesday, I'm getting I hate your patterns. You suck at what you do. Well, I've been sewing for 30 years, and your patterns are the worst thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, okay. Oh, well. And it doesn't hurt my feelings the way that it used to, because I've just come to realize that I'm not for everybody. Not every pattern is for everybody. So that is why when somebody sees, so I post this somewhere and I'm like, hey guys, look at my new bag. And someone wants to go, that is the blah, blah, blah bag from Barb. And I'm like, no, it's not. I don't do that. You can choose to believe me or not believe me. But just because this has similar features doesn't mean that I stole it from someone. Right. It doesn't mean that I went and bought Barb's pattern and used her words in her pictures. That is stealing. That is stealing. Looking and going, oh, I never thought to put push locks on the front. That's not stealing. That is being inspired by other people. And here's the other thing. And every industry that you will ever be in will tell you the same thing, especially if you do anything in any art form. There are no new ideas. No. It's the way it goes. Everybody thinks that their idea is the newest. It's been done. Where are all of my teenage girls from the 90s? Okay? All right? Do you remember our flare jeans? what did you call them? Oh, bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms.
They're not new, but we were like, these
No.
are flare jeans.
Uh-uh.
No, they're not. They're
We
bell
had-
bottoms. And I
we called her
remember,
bell bottom
right. And I
jeans.
remember my mom being like, those are bell. I was like, no, they're not. That's from the 70s.
Yeah. Mhm.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just a remastered version. It's a remastered version.
It's that.
That's a whole different day. That's a medical topic. We'll have Pat chime in on that one. But it's just a version of the same thing. It just keeps going around and going around. Everything that we see is just regurgitated information from somewhere
Exactly.
else. And that's the thing that I think bugs me the most. And it's not because I need to stand on this pedestal and be like, I copy everything. Don't be mad. I don't. I
No.
don't copy things. I've never copied someone's pattern. And if something has happened unintentionally, I just know that I tried real hard for it to not happen. So here's something. This happened the opposite way. And I don't do the name calling or anything like that because I want to believe that most people are not vicious. I have a pattern. I will not tell you which one. I designed this pattern 3-4-ish years ago. I'm pretty sure it was pre-COVID, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Fairly recently, I see a picture pop up on a group that I'm in, and I'm like, oh my God, that's mine. That's not mine. It has the same zippered pocket, the same zippered top, the same outline, the same shape. It's not my pattern. Did that person buy my pattern and steal it? I'm going to lean towards no. I'm going to lean heavily towards that didn't happen. Is it a possibility? Sure, because that's just the way that it is. But looking at that pattern, I got like, oh, that's mine. It was not. And I'm looking at it, and mine is one style, theirs is another style. But from the front, I guarantee none of you would be able to tell the difference. You go, that's the same bag. I don't believe that it was done with any like ill intent at all. I think this person designed something that we all could use. We're designing things that we all want to use.
Mhm.
So until we start making bags without handles or wallets without credit card slots, it's the way that it is.
It's like great minds think alike.
And it's, we're using the skills we've all learned over the years. We're remembering bags we've seen in stores. We're thinking about all of these things when we're designing something, and they have to start somewhere. Yeah. Bags need a handle, bags need closure. Like there's certain things you can't get around. New things come around, new techniques. But again, if 5 of us designers all designed, we all put a challenge out and said, this is the style bag we're going to design. Every single one would be different enough because of our own techniques and our way of doing it. So, okay, here's one. This is my Rue bucket bag. I designed this based on the fact that I wanted this in my collection. I wanted this style. I had never done a bucket bag. I thought grommets were really cool. We didn't sell those at the time. I wanted to do something different. It's little things that get me, like this little thing. I don't know why, but it just makes me excited. Having something, I like that bag. When you've been designing bags and you're into your 40s of not 40s of age, I am in there too. But when you're into like 40 some patterns, you're like, what haven't I done yet? And sometimes it's a little thing. Yeah. It's a tiny little thing. But I'm like, that's fun. So when I did this, in the pattern, there's 2 handles. Why? Because the designer, the Coach, the Chanel's, they have this cute little handle and then they have your big over the shoulder. That came from a designer. Like that came from bags that we are never going to make, bags that are way overpriced. Another topic for another day. But because this is a bucket bag, it's not going to look drastically different from all the other bucket bags that are out there. They're all going to have similar shapes and techniques. Is a bucket. A bucket's a bucket, So that's one of those things where in designing this style, and I have other ones. I have the next pattern I'm working on, which I'm already working on another one, is again another familiar style that you're going to go, oh, I've seen bags like that before. But as long as your response is, oh, that she stole, I didn't steal anything. None of us are trying to do that. But you're going to have similar stuff. I designed a tote bag and a backpack that probably looks similar to other ones, but also is different enough because that's not a set style. Right. This is a set style. Yeah. So there's only so much that you can do.
Charlie. Because I've seen people on various sewing groups who are quite proud of themselves for being able to watch a video and reverse engineer the pattern.
And you know what?
That's just being cheap.
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, spend the $10, but whatever. I'm not angry about that. Like, if that's what you want to do,
Yeah.
I've seen people do it with recipes, they do it with clothing, they do it with quilt patterns.
Quilt patterns, yeah.
I don't care about that. What irks me with that is when you then try to pass it off as if that other person never existed. Like,
Mhm.
look at this cool thing that I made. Oh, wink, wink. It's like, just give them credit. If you're not selling it as a pattern yourself and you're just making something, that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me at all. People that are like, it's our secret family recipe. I'm like, you got it off the back of a chocolate chip bag. It is not. Like, stop it. You know, like,
Yeah, you're right.
it's goofy. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I mean, you're a quilter. I was a quilter. We see it a lot. Like, none of us invented a churn dash block, but how many quilts have it in there? And it's like, look at my brand new design. The new design, because you pulled different aspects of other things and you made it into something. But it doesn't mean that it's that you've invented it. And as long as you're not claiming invention or claiming that somebody is stealing something, unless you know for a fact, and here's the thing. We're going to talk fact right now. I'm just going to hold this. That's all I'm doing. I'm just holding my Diva wallet just because I like to have it nearby. Do people steal? Do people have absolutely all of the intentions of taking from you? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And is that really hard to prove? And is it a stupid thing to get involved in? Yes. Am I a wealthy person with a law team, like a law firm behind me that's going to take care of that? No, I am not. So how do I, as the designer, know when it's done intentionally? Well, I'll give you a few examples. These would be red flags to me. I'm not saying these ever happened, right? So let's just say that I used to be friends with the person. Okay. We'll say Barb. I am still friends with her, but we used to be friends.
Okay.
We're good friends. Barb liked a pattern of mine, whatever pattern it is, and said to me, hey, I want to make some changes to that pattern. Could you just email me the document so that I can edit it myself and then resell it? And I was like, Barb, are you crazy? I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And then that person isn't my friend anymore. So Barb went away and didn't want to be my friend anymore. And then Barb had a pattern that looked just like the pattern that I had. I'm going to say that that's in the 1% of the stealing category.
Right.
Just going to throw that out there.
Not me.
Not you. And this is fictional. It never happened.
Wink, wink.
Things like that. And then that always leads into, well, isn't your pattern copyrighted? Doesn't copyright law protect you? No, it does not. What people don't understand about copyright is what it means is when Barb takes this pattern right here and she takes it home and she goes, take these words, take these pictures, make it into my own. I'm going to just take the handle off the top, same bag, it's mine. I used all of the stuff that she used. That is infringing on my copyright. Taking this, reading it, and making her own version of it. That's why there's Coke and Pepsi. So it's a very ugly gray area that's just not worth getting into. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. Not this at all. So I'm just saying that it does happen, but I'm gonna tell you that most of the time it does not. It does not happen on purpose. I have a friend, she's your friend too. She still designs quilt patterns. I don't anymore. And it was a very funny conversation. I was at my mom's house and my mom's hamper had this pattern. And I was like, that would be a fun quilt pattern. And I sketched it out. And when I saw her the next week, she goes, here's my new quilt pattern. And I just couldn't stop laughing. It was the one that I designed in my head. It was the exact pattern. I was like, here's what you don't know. I'm not laughing at you, but here's what just happened. She was like, are you kidding? Maybe she has the same hamper. Who knows? Inspiration comes from everywhere. But it's like, was she in my brain? Did I get into her? No. And so if I went on the internet and I was like, she stole my pattern, I just sound like a petty poop. And that's just not who I want to be. But it's just one of those conversations that I keep seeing on people's posts that like, oh, you stole that from someone else. And it's like, can you just not? And if that's the case, if you really feel like that's the case, privately message them and tell them your concerns. But like screaming at someone and making all these people jump on your bandwagon just to hurt someone's feelings, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it literally does not make any sense at all. That's it's just been one of those
Like-
things that's been bugging me a
She
lot.
said everything has been done, but everyone brings something new when sewing it and teaching it.
Exactly. And
Right.
like I said, there are people, there's three categories of bag designers. There's the people that love one pattern designer and stick with that designer. They make sense. They like them. They like whatever it is that they bring to the table. I have my group. Everybody else has their group. Then you have the people that are like, I'll work with anybody because I want to do,
Yeah.
whatever. I want to try whatever. And then there's the people that are kind of in the middle, that it's not that they're just stuck on one designer, but they literally want to bash everybody else. And it's a small group, but they're just like, you suck. She's the only one that's great. You guys all steal from her and nobody will ever do it as good as they do it. And it's like, okay, join one of the other groups, try different patterns, or stick with a designer. But I think a lot of times it comes from this, like, you feel protective of these people. You know them online. They're not like your real life friends, but you feel like you know them so well and you hear their stories and you get to know them. So you're like, I'm going to stand up for Barb. How dare you say anything about her patterns? No, absolutely not. I think it was the beginning of this year. I'm pretty sure we've even talked about it. I think it was like January or February. There was the spring roll pouch and there was the zip and grip, I want to call it. To me, to the untrained eye who's never made either, they looked identical to me. They were both square and they have the zipper that goes like at an angle. So like it opens flat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Really cool design. Neither one of those people ever said anything about the other person, but everybody was like, isn't this pouch? Isn't it this pouch? Isn't it this? You took this. And it was like, I don't think that either one of them was trying to step on anyone's toes. And knowing how long it takes to write a pattern, which FYI is not in a 24-hour turnaround.
No.
That's why you don't get 365 patterns in a year. I'm pretty sure that neither one of them was like, oh, there's my pattern idea. I'm going to go write that right now and get it out there. It happens. It kind of stinks because none of us want to feel that way. None of us ever want to be like, oh my God, did I copy your pattern? It's not a good feeling. It doesn't like make you excited. You're not like, woohoo! It kind of makes you feel stupid that you didn't see that pattern. But there are so many pattern designers now. Like, look at how much it has. I've been doing this for 12 years. In 12 years, I've seen it like quadruple. All of a sudden, everybody's a pattern designer and you can't keep up. I saw somebody not too long ago. She started a pattern company and her first pattern was a zippered pouch. Do we already have a million zipper pouches? Yeah, but she used her techniques and made it her zippered pouch design. And she knew that what she was doing was going to make it different from the other ones. Just because it looked the same on the outside doesn't mean the guts of it and the techniques were the same.
Like Shelley says, boxy bags. Everybody's got a boxy bag.
I didn't invent the boxy bag. I didn't invent that. I never claimed
Everybody's got
to.
one.
I would love to tell you how I figured it out. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. But it was one of those things. I saw somebody who's not a designer who made one.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, I don't know how to do the zipper like that, like a U shape. I want to figure that out. I don't know where the information came from. But I did it and then did it in my sizes and then figured out how to do it without seams inside and how to turn it because that's my style.
Yep.
This Charlie and Mary Ellen and I were talking about this a few weeks ago, that I try to use my style and my technique, with every style of bag. They're not all going to work though. Like there's certain styles of bags that it's just never going to happen to make it a turnstile bag. It has to have a drop-in lining or it has to have binding. So until my brain can get in there and figure that out, it's not going to be in my catalog because that's how I do it. I am very fearful of doing something with binding. I will lose half my audience because that is what they know I do. So if I'm like, hey guys, guess what? Brand new technique. They're like, no, that's not for us. We don't expect that from you. We don't want that. And some of you might go, no, that's crazy because you're in this category over here that is willing to do whatever it takes. My group wants to do it my way, and that's fine. So
Somebody
I'm not
from
on my phone.
FTR? Who would that be?
FTR.
Thinks Eric
Fart.
gives you all your ideas.
Fart? No.
That's Eric.
I know. We finally got him on Facebook.
Well, before he said, you have Eric.
So
And people say, I feel they they like your style of teaching, then
Start
over.
again. Start again. You got this.
If I like your style of teaching, then I'll come back to your shop first to look for what I need. That's the key factor for me.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing.
And somebody else said, Cindy said, something I also love is all the techniques that you've taught us so we can add to other patterns you made. I'm making a beach bag and adding a zipper pocket in my lining. Something
And
you
that
taught.
is what I love.
Yeah.
And I only speak for myself. I cannot speak for what everybody else's like kind of goal is here. I figured out very early on, before I really even, I mean, I barely was writing patterns, that I enjoy teaching and I feel very comfortable doing it, and I feel like I do a good job at it. I don't say that about a lot of things. I'm not one to like get all, like I'm wonderful, but I do feel very strongly that I do a good job teaching. I feel like I've spent enough time. I have taught so many people. I've seen how badly it can go, how great it can go, the in between, what to expect. I've already expected 20 bad scenarios before we started because I've seen them all. I know when I tell you to bring a zipper, I have to be so specific because someone will bring the wrong one. I know how to get through to people when it comes to teaching. I know what they want, and I know how to take you from verge of tears to being happy. I know how to let you go on your own. I can do that. But from doing that and now being able to do it on YouTube, I thoroughly enjoy what I do. And I would say most of the comments are generally not towards my tutorials. No. They're usually every so often, there's someone that's unhappy about something in the tutorials. For the most part, it's here that they usually don't like because they don't want to listen to us talk.
Barbara interrupts too much. Barbara talks too much.
I don't really care that much. It's fine if you want to leave. You don't have to announce your departure. It's not the airport. Just go. But this is generally where people are unhappy. The tutorials, rarely ever is someone like, I hate your teaching style. It really doesn't happen very often. So I'm fine with you just wanting to watch that or learning techniques from me. I'm very proud of myself putting timestamps in my videos. It took me a while. I'm old. YouTube is not. I'm trying to figure this out.
You're so good at it.
But once I figure it out, like I get all like, oh. But once I figure it out, I'm like, oh, that's easy. I can do that. I enjoy that because now I'm like, you don't need help with handles. You don't need help with this. You're reading the pattern and you want one bit of my information. Click on it, go to it, get it, move on. And I don't care if you use my techniques in other patterns of mine or other people's. I've had people tell me I was working on Barb's pattern and I don't really like the way she does this. So I used your technique. And I'm like, cool, that's great. Because it means that you supported her. You supported her pattern. You liked her pattern, but you made it work for you because not everybody learns the same way. And that was something I figured out really early on. Not everyone sews at the same speed. I didn't know that. I didn't know that for the first class.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez.
You have to understand, I didn't sew with people.
Oh, that's true.
So like when you're sewing by yourself, I'm like, how long does this project take me? 4 hours. So if it takes me 4 hours, it'll take you 4 hours. It'll take everybody 4 hours. I'll bring my machine and we'll work together because here's what I'm going to do. Here's step one. You're sewing and I'm sewing. I learned after class one, no. And then she has a question. She's behind. She forgot something. And I'm like, never mind. This did not work. Stop bringing your sewing machine because you're not going to use it. But it's, I figured that out. I don't know what everybody else's goal is with their patterns and with their platform, but mine is to educate and to teach. And sometimes we have to have these conversations because even if one person out of my 20,000, which makes me so excited,
20,000.
even if one person was like, I'm guilty of that. I kind of said that to someone. Maybe I should think twice the next time. Then I did my job and I'm happy about that. And also, again, I will pat myself on the back for this one. Go ahead. Thank you. I hit 20,000 in 3 years. That is not the point. That is exciting.
Yes.
I only teach my own patterns. So I don't branch out to get more people like Saya and Lauren and like all these other channels.
That's right, yeah.
I only do my own. I am so over the moon about the fact that I could do that because I literally joined YouTube with no expectations.
Mhm.
I did it to answer emails. Oh, you don't understand how to do this? Here, there's a video. Oh, here, just take this. And then it turned into this. And it
Mhm.
makes me so happy. And I'm only saying this because just do it. That's I just if this is what you want to do, just do it. That's the only reason I'm saying it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, just do it. So
Oh,
yes. Was there
oh,
anything
where'd my
else?
mouse go? Where'd it go?
Oh, it's over
There it
there.
is.
It left.
Cindy said she's very, very, very angry that she didn't bring all her patterns to So Magical to have you autograph them.
Oh my goodness. Well,
But
I guess
then-
you have to come again then.
But then we've got another comment from FTR Truck.
Oh, what's up, fart truck? Yes.
Jessica's bags are well designed, but everything can be modified or tweaked to make it more custom for your own personal needs. She gives you a base and you your love. Oh, yeah.
We don't know about the end part, but thank you,
No,
honey.
we know who that is. Uh-huh.
We may have given him too much authority.
I think so. I think you need to block him. God.
To block my own husband. I'm not. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. So anyway,
Oh,
okay.
but this is, I have to confess, I've made a bunch of the boxy pouch, but I still have to follow your video. So now with timestamps in your new videos, that will be super helpful.
Yes. Now, let me just clarify. I will not be going back and adding them to all the other videos. I know that that would make a lot of you really happy. I don't have the kind of time to do that. If I did, or if I hired someone to do that, it would happen, but it's not going to happen. Not today. I never say never, but as of right now, it won't happen. But going forward, I want to say it either started with Margie or Olive. I don't remember. I know it's definitely Georgia and Olive. I don't remember if Margie has it too. Once I figured out that it's not hard to do, because I see, and here again, I learned that from Jess from Okla Roots because I would watch one of her videos. I find her voice very soothing. I'm not usually watching it, I'm like listening to it. I just like listening to her, you know, like you just, it's like having TV on in the background. And sometimes it's like in the background and I'm listening to like a bag maker. And I like her inflection. I like how she talks. Like she's comforting. So sometimes I'll just turn it on when I'm doing something else. And when I was looking one day, I was like, how does she do that? She has timestamps for everything. How do I do that? And when I was looking, I tried to do it and my computer went haywire and it didn't work. And I'm like, is she like magical? I don't understand what is going on. And then I realized there's an easier way to do it. And I was like, oh, I'm like, well, I don't know if that's how she does it, but that's how I figured it out. And so, see, we all learn from each other. And there's always tangents here. That's why I understand why people don't like listening to us live. When it comes to stuff like that, I was very fearful for several years now to follow any other bag designers because of the copying thing. Because as soon as if I'm following them and they have something, was it like subliminally in my head and I didn't realize it? Is someone going to accuse me? Like, what if something horrible happens? So I didn't want to follow designers. I didn't want to watch their YouTube videos. I didn't want to do anything because I was so afraid of doing it by accident and or being accused of it. Excuse me. You're very burpy today. Thank you. I need you to burp like a little baby. So I got it in my head that it was a bad idea. And I realized, and I've said this before, but I've realized it's because of the quilt show trauma that I got because I have met people that I kind of idolized or thought were really cool on the internet. And because the internet is a giant lie, I'd meet them in person and they weren't nice. And I was like, well, that must be everybody. Everybody is exactly the opposite of who I think they are. I don't want to talk to any of these people. Fast forward to November of 2022, we do that designer panel. And I'm like, I don't belong here. These girls are not going to like me. This is going to be awful. I don't want to do any of this. But like I am. Oh, we all are. Yeah. Don't pretend. We all are. And they were really nice. They were nice like they are online. And then I was like, oh, you follow me? Because I wanted to follow you, but I didn't know if I was supposed to do that. Now we're like cheering each other on and like talking to each other. And it's like, it's such a different community. And none of that group, I don't feel like any of them would be like, copied me. It's not, we all want to raise each other up instead of pushing each other out of the way. And I've just never felt that before. So I was afraid of it. I was just kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is what I want to do. Like, what if I follow them and they're like, oh, I have a pattern just like that. Obviously you stole mine. I'm like, I didn't, you know? So it's all based on that like horrible thing. And that was a question that Lauren asked in that panel.
Mhm.
She said, are you ever afraid of being accused of stealing someone else's
Yeah.
pattern? And I was like, literally every person here. We are
Yeah.
all fearful of that. So I wanted to show you this. I don't think I have the other one around. This is the original Alice.
Mhm.
Looks different, right?
Yeah.
Alice has a zipper this way. I made this. I made a larger version. I sent my mom pictures. We had this whole conversation. My mom actually has one of the original ones in the same blue-green color, but with the zippers. And I was like, Mom, what do you think? And she was like, that's great. And I was like, this is my next pattern. And then I took a break and I went and scrolled on my phone and I literally saw this bag by somebody else. And I was like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I knew that it was there. And I told my mom that. And my mom's first reaction was, pull it. Don't do
Yeah.
it. Don't go any further. And I was like, I didn't steal it. I saw it afterwards. I was like, what do I? And she was like, don't publish it. I talked to another friend of mine, very diplomatic about the whole thing, and said, but you know you didn't steal it. So what does it matter? And I was like, it matters to me though. It matters to me because now I know. Had it already been published, it would have been what it is. What am I going to do?
Yeah, that's.
But it wasn't. And I was like, this is my chance to change it. This bummed me out hard because I loved sitting there figuring out these pockets and making it like so they all worked. And I was so excited about this bag. I cannot tell you how hard I was bumming on that one. I'm like, I just took someone else's pattern. I didn't mean to. I can't publish that. I literally can't publish that.
Mhm.
And that is why Alice goes this way. Someday I will figure out a way to do this double zipper thing that doesn't look like anybody else's. But in the meantime, that's why Alice is not the original. And my mom has the one and brought it with her, I think, to Florida last year. I said, oh, no. You cannot carry that. You cannot carry that.
Exactly. God, they'll be asking about
no.
it. Mm-hmm.
And so I gave her mine. I was like, you can't carry that bag.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have that bag anywhere near the show. It's a conversation I am not having right now. And I was like, take that off. I forgot she had it. And it's really cute too. It was the same exact one as the cover, but with the horizontal zippers. It's so cute. And I was like, Mom, get rid of that bag. So
Charlie's being mean to me.
Is Charlie being mean?
He's going, well, about timestamps. Well, what is Barb doing with all her downtime? Can't you go put the stamps on the old videos?
That is true. You have an awful lot of free time.
Really?
For those of you who don't know, I think Barb has less free time than I do. And yes, it's a joke. Charlie knows us. It's just a joke.
Charlie's
and we know that. But yeah, I don't think that Barb... I'm surprised you even show up here to ship orders sometimes.
Sometimes I question, should I be here?
You're like, oh, I gotta go. I have things to do. It's hard when you run multiple businesses and then also work for somebody and then have other things. And she still has a personal life, which, I mean, it's better than mine. You still go on vacation. I don't do that.
I don't do that. For 5 days. The Outer Banks. In December, I'm going to Myrtle Beach.
And I am...
But that's my brother's 80th birthday.
Well, that's awesome.
80.
I am going to St. Louis.
80 and he's still out playing soccer.
That's awesome. That's super awesome. And I'm not mocking St. Louis. It's just not really a destination vacation kind of a place, but I am going there and I'm super excited. I've never been. I've driven past it, but I've never been.
And I'm trying to think, there was a restaurant on a riverboat on the Mississippi there.
A restaurant or a riverboat?
27 years since I've been there. My brother used to live in St. Louis.
I have a feeling between
my other brother.
teaching and I'm going to assume possibly helping either during open sew or in other classes. Probably not going to have a lot of free time, but I get to hang out with like some of my favorite people and I'm very excited about it. And on a smaller scale, so like we actually get to see each other. We don't have like a booth to worry about or like I actually get to hang out with some cool people and just like have drink and have dinner and like just chit chat and, and teach classes. So I'm very excited.
Your style of teaching is why Mouse Boots.
Mouse
I'm
Boots.
not sure who Mouse Boots is. Paid for a video rather than use the free version of someone else's video.
Thank you. And we will end with this because Mouse Boots brought it up. I do have 3 videos on my website that are not free. The reason behind that, and I've said it, but I'll say it, I always repeat myself because there's always somebody new listening.
There are some new people here.
And sometimes the people that have been around for many years also don't listen to me. It's fine. But the reason is two reasons. I had a different goal with my YouTube channel prior to like those videos. My idea was like, I'll do some free stuff. I'll put our Facebook Live when we're doing it on Facebook on there, but I want to make companion videos and I don't want to be fearful of like giving away too much information because I had never watched a full tutorial. You and I watched Stephanie's from Cool Alex Nanos when because it was on my pattern when we were in Michigan once, but I wasn't fully paying attention and I was like, I'm afraid to put my foot in my mouth and stand there and be like, and this is 6 inches. Oh God, I just told them how big this is. So I didn't know how to do that. And I was kind of afraid. And I was like, you know what? The way I look at it, $10 to take a class with me as many times as you want to, any time of the day or night that you want to. I don't think that's a bad price. I'm going to do that for my patterns. Well, I did it for 3 complex patterns. And then I started to realize there was a comment. Sometimes the internet gives you ideas. It wasn't a negative comment. I mean, maybe it was meant to be, but somebody had just said about someone else, I don't like to pay for videos because if I don't like their teaching style, I'm wasting my money. I'm buying a pattern and then I'm paying for it. I want to see how they teach before I give them my money. And I understand that. I totally understand that. Eric and I talk about this a lot. To me, $10 is not a big deal. I waste more money buying lipstick on the internet that's the wrong color. I just bought a $25 tube of lipstick and I hate it. And I know that just sounds wasteful. I'm like, oh, are you rich? No. But $10, I'm like, $10 is like almost a coffee. Like that's,
it's got
you know, like I pay $7 for a coffee at Starbucks that I just drink. $10, I get to have that forever and ever and ever. And I can watch that anytime that I want to. So to me, it didn't sound like a big deal. But I also don't know what people's budgets are. I don't know what people have. And I understood her comment. Okay, you don't know me. And you don't know if my teaching style is not your style. I could be boring to you. I could have a voice that you don't like. And now you're really invested in something. You can watch a free video of mine or a tutorial. You can watch the Georgia tutorial before you buy the pattern and say, you know what, I do want to make this. I feel like that's at my skill level. So that's why I shifted it. I will not make those 3 videos public. Number 1, because they have measurements. But number 2, because I feel so unfair to anyone that's given me their money that I don't want to be like, so thanks for paying me, but now it's going to be free. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So someday will I make different versions of those videos? Maybe. But they're so far at the bottom of my list that it's not going to be anytime soon.
You got a question?
Yes.
What are you bringing for the pop-up shop at So Magical?
Question of the decade.
Stuff.
Cork. Definitely cork. Definitely patterns.
She's gonna wipe me out again. Are you gonna wipe me out again of all the cut cork?
Yeah. I am. Other than that, I haven't decided yet. I want to bring templates, but I have been slammed this week trying to get kits done, and I haven't had time to make templates. And basically, I have to have them done by the end of this weekend to get them to Sean, to get them back to me. So maybe some templates, but I probably wouldn't be able to go overboard on those. I doubt I'm going to bring hardware, maybe a couple of pieces here and there that make sense for the class I'm teaching, but I'm not bringing we have a table. I have 6 to 8 feet. I'd rather have more cork than anything else because everything else that I have, you can get on my website. Maybe a sample or 2. I don't want to take up a lot of room with like all that. So cork and patterns are the only definites I can tell you right now. The rest of it will be a surprise. If there's something specific that you want from me, you are welcome to either email me and ask me to bring it or place an order and ask me. I will happily bring it. I have a pile over there already of stuff I have to bring that people have pre-ordered. If there's something and you want to get it and you want to make sure it's yours, I will happily bring it for you. Not a problem. I did also send a box of goodies today to Alex and Kayla. So there will be a little something from me for all of you at So Magical. It's just a little nothing, but
do I get something too?
You're not going.
I can't. Somebody's got to hold the fort.
Exactly. And we've asked Eric and we know how that will go.
Oh God. We
Yes.
put Eric and Sean together. Wouldn't that be funny?
Funny?
Then we'd have to have an in-house camera to watch.
Oh God, yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Yeah, you better hit that submit button and place that order.
Just make sure you put your put a note in there, because otherwise we're just gonna ship it. But if it's something that you want me to bring, I mean, I'm happy to save shipping and I'm happy to bring it for you. I will, not a problem. Just make sure you tell us, because if you don't tell us, we have no idea. We're really bad at mind reading. That's, you know, we've tried.
Yet.
Just doesn't work.
No, not at all.
So,
oh my God, your answer to what are you bringing got a response of thank you, Jesus.
thank you, Jesus. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Mary.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh, it's not Jesus. It's thank you, Jess.
Thank you. Also, thank
oh
you,
my God,
Jesus.
I should clean my glasses. I think.
This just went in a totally different direction. I will say thank you, Jesus. And you're welcome from Jess. Next week,
Oh God,
Next week is
I'm
this.
Sorry about that.
and I'm not, because that was the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. Next week, the week after is when I'm in St. Louis. I don't know what we're doing as far as a live.
Okay,
I
you
don't.
read this one. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
But you're welcome to have it.
And if anybody's wondering, we're looking at, I just don't want to take the one-toed ungulate
Ungulate.
before I have a chance to actually get
I
it.
don't know what that means, but I love it.
Yeah.
I am here for it. Thank you, Jesus. We're good.
Oh God, Amy, no.
Somebody just chimed in and they're like, "Oh, she's religious. We're leaving."
No. He says,
Oh.
now I have Barb thinks of you, how I view you. Not really.
No, definitely not. Anyway, because we are going to wrap this up, because I have a virtual retreat to go to. The horse, yes. Oh, I got it. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for all of that, because that was fantastic. I have no idea if I will or will not be going live from So Magical. I don't know, because we're going to be an hour behind. So this will be not next week, the week after. I don't know when that will fall in the schedule. I don't know. When I get there, I'm going to see if anybody wants to do live with me on Friday. So it may be at a different time. I don't know. I don't know about Wi-Fi or any of that. So once I get to St. Louis and get that sorted out, I will post it on Facebook and Instagram. And I will also, if we're going to do live, I'll do the, like we're going to be going live and I'll put a time on it. I don't know yet. I have no answers for you right now. So we will see you next week for our 20K, you know what. Who knows what else. I'm trying to edit that stupid video for the overlays. I can't get anything done. I have been up to my eyeballs in kits. So that's all I've been doing this week. So that is next on the list. And other than that, I think that's it.
I do
Call it a
believe
day?
that's it.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. We're gonna say goodbye.
We're gonna say goodbye.
Goodbye.
I make Jess turn it off so I don't fall off the chair.
Not on video anyway.
Not on video. I'll do it afterwards.
Bye.